I'm very proud of it, but unfortunately, it'll probably never see the light of day, although one day I would like to just drop it on my YouTube channel and hopefully
If it gets leaked, it gets leaked.
I've asked Dave so many times, my husband, he's an attorney. I've been like, "Can I just leak it?" And he's like, "No, we'll lose our house." And I'm like, "Okay, but we live in Van Nuys, like, we can get a better house."
Yeah.
This is The Girlfriend, the Sex Object, the Nag, where every week Maria Shehata and I, Kat Rhinehart, bring you a new movie where we discuss the female characters. Sometimes they're great, usually they're not. This should be obvious, but just because we need to say it, spoilers ahead, spoiler warning, we are going to be ruining the movie as best we can. There's a little bit in this movie that I can't exactly spoil because I'm not even clear on some of the plot. There's something I was just Googling that I'm really confused about. So I'll spoil it as best I can, but I might do it incorrectly. Okay. The Big Lebowski.
Oh, okay, fun.
Have you seen this movie?
Yes, I have.
Okay. When's the last time you've seen this movie?
Probably not that long ago, maybe a year ago.
So I have seen this movie many times, but it has been a really long time since I've watched it. And I love The Big Lebowski. I love this movie. I love this movie. The characters are epic. It's so quotable. There's so many phenomenal characters. There's so many great lines. I love the Coen brothers. Blood Simple was required viewing in film school. It probably still is. Probably Blood Simple is probably film school royalty, which, by the way, was their first movie, which is so annoying that they came out of the gate with.
I've never even heard of Blood Simple.
It's like something you watch in film school and it's like, "Oh, yeah, this is really good," but you don't know why it's good. Yeah, at least I didn't. I was just like, "Okay, yeah, yeah, like, this is an important movie," but I just remember it being really violent. But it's their first movie. I want more. I wanna see more for my sake. I need to see more successful filmmakers have a bad first movie. That would make me feel better
I'm
about.
sure it's happened. I
It
can
doesn't
probably
feel
Google
like it's
that right
happened.
now and tell you.
That's obnoxious that your very first movie is, like, taught at film school because of how good it is. That's yeah. I need,
Um,
like, a trajectory. I need, like a grow I need a growth, like someone who grew.
well, so just out of basic list, James Cameron with Piranha 2, Peter
Piranha
Jackson.
Wait, Piranha 2 is James
Yeah.
Cameron's first movie? Okay. That
P
sounds like it's probably not who did Piranha 1?
Yeah.
But, like, K-pop Demon Hunters, that's, like, my daughter's favorite movie, that was, like, these 2 women, it was their first movie, and they graduated from college in, like, 2018, like, shoot me in the face.
That is irritating. We have Francis Ford Coppola with Dementia 13, Christopher Nolan's Following, and Stanley Kubrick, Fear and Desire.
Okay, and these are, like, uh, considered not great movies?
Yeah, you're in good company.
Great. So, anyway, The Big Lebowski. So I wanted to do The Big Lebowski because I
I feel
remember.
I need to say real quick, I'm so sorry.
Please.
Um, your first movie it wasn't bad. It didn't, like, make money, but it wasn't
I
bad.
Yeah, I mean, I just there's Brand New Old Love is what it's called, and I thought it was gonna premiere at Sundance and change my life, and it premiered at the Burbank International Film Festival. And it only got in because the guy was like, it was basically a bringer show. The festival guy was like, "How many people can you bring if I, like, program this film?" And I was like, "My
What?
whole everybody."
Yeah.
20 at least 20 people, and he was like, "Okay," and, then he sent an email out later that was like, "I'm gonna go to Sundance. Does anyone have a couch I can crash on?" So my movie premiered at someone who can't even couch crash at Sundance instead of Sundance, and I just felt like I was the only first-time filmmaker that didn't premiere at Sundance, and it was just really depressing, and then I had my documentary that never even came out, which is a whole other story,
That documentary is so good.
What's Eating Ralphie May.
By the way, if it does get leaked, this is so incriminating. I didn't leak it, she didn't leak it.
I didn't leak it. Yeah, I'm not that's true. I'm not leaking it, Maria's not leaking it. I do hold out hope that one day I am allowed to publicly share it,
Me too.
and I will wait until I am explicitly given permission to do that. You can Google and watch a fun trailer, "What's Eating Ralphie May." I spent 5 years making it. So I thought that whatever year that was, I don't know, there was, like, a year in the late 20 teens where I thought What's Eating Ralphie May and Brandon Would Love. I thought I was gonna have 2 films, a narrative and a narrative and a documentary premiere at Sundance, and I was gonna just, like, take over the world, and that was many years ago, and that did not happen, but that's okay because it has to be. Anyway, so The Big Lebowski, I wanted to do this movie because I started when we started this podcast 3 weeks ago, um, you know, I've done a lot of soul searching, since then I'm like, "Do I like The Big Lebowski, or am I just trying to be cool and like one of the guys?" Because The Big Lebowski is a quintessential one of the guys movies, and I've always wanted to be one of the guys. I used to order whiskey and beer at the bar instead of wine, so that some guy would turn to me and go, "Huh," you know?
Oh,
Like, and
yeah.
I could be
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
"I'm not like other girl," like,
I
I've
guess girls are
always.
doing that with F1 right now 'cause, I have a friend who's, like, online dating, and all the girls are like, "I'm totally into F1." It's like,
Oh, really? Oh
yeah.
god, I'm so glad I don't have to do that.
Yeah.
It's so loud. It's so
Yeah.
loud. I worked on
Yeah.
promos for the F1 movie, actually, like, that was the last editing gig I had, was cutting promos for the F1 movie. It's loud.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
wanna have to like that.
Yeah. But it's like,
There were
do these women like it, or do they I mean, like, I didn't see the movie, I don't know how good it was, maybe it did turn a bunch of people onto F1, but, like, Formula 1 was never a like, it was never a thing.
is it like F1 in, like, the liberal states and NASCAR in, like,
Right.
red states, or is it all F1?
Right. I don't know.
Well, anyway, I'm glad I don't have to pretend to like that. But so I have been wondering, like, do I like The Big Lebowski really, or is it just internalized misogyny and me just wanting so badly to seem cool? And The Big Lebowski it's probably the best stoner movie of all time. The Big Lebowski poster was on the wall of every guy's apartment I went to in my 20 teens and 20, like forever.
Yes.
There's not a wall, there's not a dorm room or apartment bedroom wall occupied by, like, a white, straight dude in America that didn't have the Big Lebowski poster on the wall.
It was everywhere, yeah. Everybody wanted to be called the dude.
The dude abides.
The dude abides.
There's so many epic quotes, but that poster, that fucking poster was on every wall. Gen X guys had the dogs playing poker.
Mm.
Do you know what I'm
And
talking about?
Scarface.
And Scarface, and then the millennial dude was The Big Lebowski. That was the poster on every wall. So it was just in the ether, and I definitely saw it for the first time as an adult, but loved it. But I also was, like, told that it was good because almost certainly was shown it by whatever guy I was dating at the time. Um, but anyway, so I was just curious, like, does this hold up? Because there's 2 female characters in the movie. Do you remember them?
Bonnie and Julianne Moore, who I can't remember her character name.
I feel like the Coen brothers aren't lauded enough for doing this very rare thing, which is getting Tara Reid and Julianne Moore in a movie together.
Yeah. Right.
So so The Big Lebowski. The Big Lebowski tells the story of Jeffrey Lebowski, who is the dude, and he is known as the laziest man in LA County, and it opens with that iconic, really funny scene. He's at Ralph's writing a check for half and half for his white Russian.
He's not just at Ralph's, he's at Rock and Roll Ralph's.
He's at the Murder Ralph's?
Yeah.
Ah, I didn't even realize that. The Rock
Maybe
and
he's
Roll Ralph's
not. I
in West
might maybe I
Hollywood?
make did I make that up? I could have sworn he was at Rock and Roll Ralph's. And Rock and Roll Ralph's is the one on Sunset in West Hollywood.
Yeah,
Ralph's, yeah.
yeah. Dave's, like, best friend lived there across the street until COVID, but there was, like, a couple people died. I'll probably cut that out. Anyway, like, it was, yeah, it got really, that Rock and Roll Ralph's got less rock and roll and more just bleak
Oh, there's
drink.
murders there?
Overdoses.
Oh, shit.
Maybe a murder, but probably an overdose.
Well, you called it Murder Ralph's, but I wasn't sure why.
I was getting it confused with, Murder Kroger in Atlanta, where I'm from.
Okay.
There's
Rock
a
and Roll Ralphs and Murder Kroger's, although it's the same company, are
Is
totally
it?
different. Yeah,
Yeah, we call it Murder Kroger, and I parked that's where I parked my Jeep the night before I moved to LA, and they broke into my Jeep and ripped out the starter, and then I had to start my car
that's
for years
right.
with a screwdriver.
Oh my god, that's right. How could
That
I
was for
forget that? That happened at Murder Kroger's.
that happened at Murder Kroger,
Oh,
not to be
I love
confused
it.
with Rock and Roll Ralphs. So I'm gonna tell the plot real quickly because I just want to get into the female characters. So the dude, he is a slacker. He's unemployed. He drinks White Russians, and he calls himself the dude. His wardrobe is epic. Which, by the way, fun fact: most of his wardrobe, Jeff Bridges actually brought. It was his own real clothes,
Oh,
including
fun.
his jelly sandals that he wears were just his. That was how he dressed, which is so great. I love that so much. But so anyway, he gets home from buying half and half, writing a check for 69 cents at Ralph's, Rock and Roll Ralph's maybe. And he gets punched in the face, and all of a sudden it's like goons are basically asking where the money is and shoving his head in the toilet. And one guy very famously pees on his rug. And then they realize, wait a second, this guy's not rich. Lebowski is supposed to be a millionaire and have a wife. And he's like, look around. Does it look like I'm married man? And then oh god, the rug, that famous line, it really tied the room together. That's so iconic. There's every single line in this movie is so iconic. Is it like less annoying for you than Will Ferrell quotes?
Yeah.
Okay, it
I don't
just
know why. It's just such a good movie.
it's just such a good movie. Anyway, turns out that they had the wrong Lebowski. There's another Lebowski, the Big Lebowski, who's this millionaire, and because of his amazing, oh god, just a genius character, John Goodman, his, like, Vietnam vet friend, when they're bowling, which another fun fact, we never see the dude bowl in the whole
Oh,
movie, which
interesting.
it was just really interesting, but,
Random
so
fun fact. Bill
random
Murray was actually making his strikes in, Kingpin.
Oh, yeah, oh, Dave told me that! Yeah, that's funny, Dave loves that movie too. Wait, we haven't done that yet, right?
No,
Yeah, we're
we
doing Kingpin,
will.
yeah. Oh,
Oh, we
oh,
will.
we will.
This is the
Um
thing that got this whole podcast started.
That is the thing that got this whole podcast started, Slut in Bar. But so John Goodman, his like bowling buddies who are John Goodman, Walter, and Shut the Fuck Up Donnie, Steve Buscemi, they're bowling and basically John Goodman, who is just like such a funny slash annoying character. I mean, in the best ways, because he really gets the dude into all this trouble. But he's like, you need to go to this guy, find him, and like get him to pay for your rug. So he does. He goes to the Big Lebowski's house, and the Big Lebowski's like main assistant is Philip Seymour Hoffman in that like iconic role. It's so great. And so the dude meets the Big Lebowski, and the Big Lebowski is just like, fuck you, basically, you slacker. And the dude's like, oh, I can take any rug, and takes a rug, leaves. The Big Lebowski and his assistant, Philip Seymour Hoffman, call the dude back, and they're like, Bunny's been kidnapped. Oh, his trophy wife. His trophy wife, Bunny, Tara Reid, has been kidnapped. They want $1 million. Will you be the courier?
What does he want? He just wants a rug, or he wants something super simple, like just to drink White Russians, or like
He wants to drink White Russians and get his rug back because the rug really tied the room together. So he's really bummed that he lost his rug. So
so he's just being egged on by this friend, going like, you need to stick up for yourself and get that back, and
he
that
just
like
wants Yes, he just wants the rug, but then his friend, John Goodman, is like, "Let's get this $1 million." And he's like, "No, they're gonna kill that poor woman." And he's like, "Who cares?" Everything goes south. His car gets stolen. Bunny's toe shows up. He's like, "Oh, she kidnapped herself. She probably didn't really do it." And then, like, a toe shows up with green nail polish, and when we meet Bunny, she has green nail polish. They attempt to drop off the $1 million, like the Big Lebowski asked him to do, and said he'd give him 20 grand if he successfully does that. That goes to shit. This is like such a crazy convoluted story, but basically the dude wants his rug back. He gets roped into this kidnapping for ransom scheme. He's assigned the task of giving the ransom to Bunny's kidnappers because Walter and him do it together, the royal we. They fail epically, and then they lose the $1 million when his car is stolen. And then he spends the rest of the movie trying to find the $1 million.
sorry, was the car stolen by the people in this world that he's dealing with, or just randomly? Just randomly, this car stolen.
This teenage boy, a
Okay.
teenage kid, and he finds that out because he finds the homework in the car. Shit hits the fan, and he's worried that they're gonna kill Bunny because he messed up the drop off, and his friend is just like, "Fuck it, dude, let's go bowling." And then basically there's just like all these people that are now trying to get this $1,000,000. Not the least of which is Maude Lebowski, who is the Big Lebowski's daughter, Julianne Moore. And she enters and she basically helps the dude put together that her father has actually stolen the money and used this as like a plot to steal the money from the foundation so he can actually have money because he's actually really broke in real life. And that's the twist that you don't really see coming. But what I have trouble putting together, which is why I can't spoil the movie as much as I would like to spoil the movie. There's like two groups of kind of bad guys. There's the nihilists, the Germans, who actually send the toe that ends up not being Bunny's toe. And then there's the goons who work for Jackie Treehorn. It's just really confusing.
Jackie Treehorn is the guy that Bunny's with who, like, they pretended for her to get kidnapped, or she did actually get kidnapped.
No,
Who's
Jackie Treehorn is the pornographer. Bunny owes Jackie Treehorn money, and he sends his goons to get the money.
What's funny about this movie is I've seen it maybe 5 times, and I still have no idea. If you were to ask me what it was about, you're doing a great job. But I would be like, there's a guy, and he's sort of like, the world is put upon him. Like, he's just,
Yeah.
all he wants is something very simple. He's a simple
Yeah.
man with a simple plan, and things just go awry? Which one is it?
Awry.
Things go awry.
This movie is about the dude. And he just wants to bowl. He just wants to go bowling and drink his White Russians, and all this crazy shit happens. He just like falls back ass backwards into this like crazy story with all of these this epic, amazing characters. And he just has so many amazing one-liners. Just people say something crazy to him, and he just says these like epically quoted lines back, like, "Yeah, well, that's just your opinion, man." Or Jackie Treehorn treats objects like women. Just the sentence he says back to
Yeah.
whatever crazy character walks in the room is basically what this movie is.
Yeah, it's he's an iconic character. So let's get to the women. So
Okay,
because there's Bunny and then Maude.
so there's Bunny and then Maude. And I don't think they ever talk to each other. So I don't think this movie ever has two women speaking to each other, which I was thinking about, that's kind of a premise of this podcast. It's not really. There is the famous Bechdel test that is like, does the movie pass the Bechdel test? And it does if two women have a conversation with each other that isn't about a man. And that shouldn't be that complicated of a thing. The Big Lebowski definitely does not pass the Bechdel test, but I think that's okay. Like, not every movie is for everybody. It's all right that this is a dude film for
Well,
dudes.
that's why we didn't call this podcast Bechdel Fest. Because
I know,
one,
I
we
love
can't
that
agree
name.
on how the pronunciation of Bechdel. But
Right?
two, I don't, that's not what I'm measuring anything on. I like our questions at the end better, which you came up with.
Yeah. Yeah, right. I think it's okay that a movie doesn't pass the Bechdel test if it's a good story and if the female characters aren't just these stock characters of the girlfriend, the sex object, and the nag. The first female character we meet, Bunny, Tara Reid, she's sitting in a bikini by the pool painting her nails. The dude comes over and she's like, "I'll suck your cock for $1,000. So the first female character in this is like the sex object. She's literally a hooker. And then it's like, oh, she kidnaps herself for this money. She's just this like horrible, like all these iconic male characters, and then there's just this like slutty hot chick, right? That's kind of disappointing. But then as the movie unravels, that's not really what it becomes. She doesn't kidnap herself. She's just on a trip. And to have a hard time with the Bunny character would be to pretend like that kind of person doesn't exist in real life. And she absolutely does. And that's okay. If a hot chick wants to separate a rich guy from his money, she should be able to do that. The Bunny character is interesting, but very simple, not complicated, doesn't have an arc. But then Maude, the Big Lebowski's daughter, who Julianne Moore plays, is actually really interesting. When we first meet her, doing like she's doing like hanging art. And she comes down and she's naked. Neither of the women characters in this movie wear clothes, at least when we meet them. But okay. But Maude is
They weren't told to bring their own wardrobe.
yeah, yeah. But so we meet Maude, and she's like a feminist painter. And at first I'm like, oh, here we go. This is going to be some annoying stock character feminist. But at first she's like, I enjoy sex. And she's an artist, and she has her guys who work for her. And then she has this really funny line when she shows the dude bunnies porn, and she's like, the story is ludicrous.
So wait, so okay, this is where the Peter guy comes in. So he's a pornographer and Bunny is in the porn.
Yes.
Okay.
She tells the dude, I don't know if this is true or not, that Bunny is a sex addict
Okay.
and I guess likes money. That's why she's married to her father. She's married to Maude Lebowski's father. And then we learn later through Maude that her father actually isn't rich. The money was her mother's, and she controls the purse strings. Maude Lebowski does. So really, Maude is the Big Lebowski.
Yeah. Maude Lebowski for the win. Yeah. Hell yeah.
And she helps the dude put together where the money is, because she's like, it's not his money, it's the foundation's money. And I control the purse strings. My father just wants like a hot, she calls her the slut, hence the slut. It's all about vanity and appearances. But so the dude basically puts together that the other Jeffrey Lebowski is actually the one who has the money. He stole the money. So he puts that together with the help of Maude Lebowski. And they realize this because she's like on the bed rolling around trying to make sure that like his semen from their sex uptakes because she wants a child.
Hang on. So the dude slept with Maude.
Yes, yes. Okay, so Maude, her people punch him in the face, and she's like, "Go see my doctor. He's very thorough." And the doctor's like, "Drop your pants." And he's like, "She hit me in the face." And he's like, "Drop your pants." And that's because she basically wants a sperm donor.
Yeah, all these women in all these movies, we just like, give me baby. If we're not a slut, that's all we want.
She's a feminist artist who wants a baby, but she wants to raise the baby on her own. She doesn't want any participation from the father. And she sees in the dude that he would check all those boxes. And she's not wrong, but that's why she has a doctor check him out. But yeah, she's an interesting character because she's a feminist, she's an identified feminist who enjoys sex and wants a baby.
Okay. Does she get pregnant with his baby? Like, does that come up later?
I don't think we ever learned that. I don't know. I was too confused. I fell asleep so many times trying to rewatch this movie. And then I'm like,
So us. I can't believe we're doing a podcast about movies.
I fell asleep a bunch of times. And then I'm still so confused by like who the nihilists were, where that toe came from, and like what they have to do with the other goons. But I don't think we ever learn whether or not she has a baby. You can assume that certainly she's done a lot of planning and she's probably She's definitely ovulating. She's peeing on that stick, getting the smiley face. And then goes to Jeffrey and is like, Jeffrey, take me. So she's got this all planned out. But yeah, so she's a sex enjoying artist feminist who's very rich with from her mother. She got her mother's money and she wants a baby, but she wants to do it single-handedly, which is crazy. I'm sure she'll regret that. But she can have like staff, she can have like people help. But I think she's an interesting character. I don't think Julianne Moore would have done the part if she had been poorly written.
No, I agree with that. So after she has sex with him and she's trying to get the sperm all up in her, does she come up again?
I don't think so. I think that's it.
Okay, that's it for Maude.
And one thing that's really interesting is I read that he doesn't arc.
Right.
He doesn't change, but it's a crazy story happens to this guy and he remains unchanged at the end. But all he wanted was just go bowling. And I can't remember if he even gets the rug.
Yeah, there's no like I drink Black Russians now, or there's no like, if anything, he's just down a friend.
Or if he's like, right, or if he's like, I think I do want to be a father, actually.
Yeah. Yeah,
She's
something.
gonna crush him.
No.
Can you imagine like that kid growing up trying to find his father and being like so disappointed?
And everybody's like, your father's the dude. That's awesome.
Yeah, so I would say I'm pleasantly surprised and not that disappointed in the female characters in The Big Lebowski. I'm sure there's a million think pieces that would say something different than that, but
I'm a little disappointed about the baby thing because it doesn't come into play later. It's just like, I'm a woman and I want baby.
It is a little unbelievable that she would just want a baby based on everything else about her character.
Yeah, and, like, how often is she checking if she's ovulating? Because, like, how often do random guys just pop by to get some information about like, what she was hanging from the ceiling, like, your first intro to her is, like, she's flying over his head with,
Naked.
like, splattering paint, naked.
Well, he took her mother's rug.
Oh, did she summon him?
She goes to his apartment. So she sees his shithole apartment that has her rug in it that she gave her mother. She goes there with her goons. They punch him. They take the rug. So then she goes home with the rug and she's like sitting around going, maybe maybe the laziest man in Los Angeles County, that's the sperm I want.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not really believable. She could choose a better candidate, but she wants someone who's not going to try to be the father. But I feel like that's probably not that hard to find in LA County.
Definitely not. And then, well, she must have been attracted to him. He's not unattractive.
But yeah, he's an alcoholic. Like, why? I think she could choose a better father figure. What about like one of the male artists that are just hanging around? Like, why not one of them?
Mhm. Yeah, or
And
somebody who buys her art, who's rich.
yeah,
I
or
guess she
like
doesn't need the money, but, like,
she
just
doesn't
they're
need the
probably
money.
ambitious.
Yeah, but also like, why does she want to raise the child alone? Maybe because she like hates her father and she loved her mother. Who knows? I guess there could be more because there's just like a line of dialogue she says postcoital about that. Like maybe we could spend a little more time with Maude Lebowski and unwrap that because it doesn't really make sense.
Yeah. Okay, so let's ask the questions. Does Maude have a job?
She does. She's a feminist artist.
Do you wanna do just Maude or Maude and,
Let's
Bunny?
do Maude and Bunny.
Okay, so we'll do Bunny first. Does Bunny have a job?
No. Well, Bunny's a trophy wife.
Okay.
And actually a porn star. So yeah, I guess she did have a job. I'm assuming she used to do porn and then she retired when she married Jeffrey Lebowski and now she's a trophy wife.
Okay, and what does Bunny want?
Money.
Money.
Bunny wants
Bunny wants
money.
money. Okay, so does Bunny have any friends or family?
I don't think so. Oh no, she does. She has her friend who's asleep in the pool who's the nihilist.
Is the Big Lebowski good for her?
No, because she could be with someone who's actually rich. He's not actually
Yeah.
rich. He's tricking her. He manipulated her. She married him under false pretenses that he let her believe. So no, she could
Yeah.
do better.
We want more for you, Bunny. What does Maude do?
So Maude is an artist.
We did this already, didn't we? And
Maude's
then
an artist.
what does Maude want?
Well, Maude wants the money back from the foundation that was stolen. So she wants her mother's money / her money protected, and she wants a baby.
She wants a baby. And what does she have
But
friends and
not a
family?
man. She doesn't want a man, but she wants a baby.
Mm.
I think that's a bit of a feminist stereotype that she wants a
One,
baby but not a man.
of course it is, yeah.
I
'Cause
think
it's
that's
like
a bit I don't really love. That's a bit of a stretch. I don't see that much in reality, but
it feels like they're trying to soften the angry lesbian stereotype from the 80s. It's like they were
yes.
trying to take that and then soften it, but she still has motherly instincts.
Right. Well, they're like she's a feminist and she doesn't want a man, but she wants a baby, of course.
Of course.
It felt a little can't really put my finger on it. But
Yeah, I've had an issue with it the whole time. Like all these movies that we're watching, just like the whole baby thing is so irritating to me.
yeah.
And okay, so does she have friends and family?
Well, her mother, whom she loved very much, who has passed. She hates her father, but like we actually learn about her family history a little bit. So that's more than a lot of female characters in movies. So and she has friends. She has friends around that help her with her art. So yeah, she has friends and
Nice.
family.
Oh, yay. Okay, good. Good job, Coen Brothers.
All
Um,
right.
and the last question is the dude good for her?
Definitely not. And if he's not good for her, he wouldn't be a good father.
He might be good for her, like in
He
that he's donated the sperm, he's decent looking, and he's gonna stay out of the way.
but he's unemployed. He's literally described in the opening as the laziest man in LA County, if not the world. I think she can do better than the laziest man in the world.
She doesn't get it's just about sperm though. It's just like he's got blue eyes.
Yeah, but I still think you could do better. I think if you love your children, you have to know that one day they're gonna ask where they came from, and
Yeah.
that's gonna be such a
She's
bummer.
like, "The man paying by check at Rock and Roll Ralph's is where you came from."
Yeah, an alcoholic who couldn't pay his rent, unemployed loser, but he's cute, he's probably tall, um, yeah, but then, of course, that child's gonna be happy to exist, so they're gonna be happy that that's who she chose, otherwise they wouldn't be here, but I still think that she could do better even for there's plenty of men who have jobs and also don't wanna be fathers.
Well, yeah, she coulda looked a little harder. Maude,
Yeah.
all in all, 6 out of 10. I give your character. Not that I don't know when we started rating him. I just now did that.
We'll just do yeah, we can just do that really with, like, total inconsistency. We'll just sometimes rate them. Just
Yeah.
when the urge hits, just throw it out there. I would give her, like, a 7.5 or an 8 out of 10.
Yeah,
I
and I
think
wanna
she's
think about who okay.
but because what yeah, I guess yeah, maybe less. I guess I like her character, but yeah, there is something bothersome about that whole storyline, but I think maybe it would've been better if she didn't want a baby, she just wanted to have sex with the dude because she thought he was, like, cute.
Yeah, the
Um,
baby thing is what the only reason I docked any points. Um, and it could just be another example of how the dude is just, like, being thrown around through life. It's just,
yeah,
like, now suddenly his sperm is being used to create a child. Um, but I don't know, like, it is just him being hapless and like, "Oh, what's going on?" And I have all this stuff happens to me.
yeah, and he just rolls with it. I mean, there's better sperm on his bowling league. She coulda just gone to the bowling alley. I think Donnie would have been better.
But Donnie died. What did he die of?
He has, like, a heart attack during the big
So, there you go, heart
fight.
disease,
Oh,
not great
yeah,
sperm.
actually, you're right, yeah, Donnie and then John Goodman's character is like a little
He's a lunatic.
he's crazy, yeah, so, maybe I guess of the 3 of them, he would have been the best,
I
but
love that we're trying to figure out which of the dude's friends
the
has the best
Jesus.
sperm.
Oh, but no, 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 not the Jesus because he's a pervert. So, yeah, actually, maybe of everyone from the bowling league, maybe the dude would have been best, but, I mean, I just like the bartender. That guy at least has a job. The guy making the White Russians employed.
Yeah. All right. Well, write to us. Let us know if you want us to watch a particular movie at the nagpod at gmail.com. And you can follow us on YouTube and Instagram and I think also TikTok. I started a TikTok at the Nag Pod.
Oh, fun.
And we'll see you next week. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Happy New Year.